Hey everyone, it's May, and today I'm going to be talking about what it's like to be an English major at CSULB. If you're new here, I just finished my second year at CSULB and I'm an English creative writing major. Someone requested this video because they were an incoming freshman and they wanted to hear about what it was like to be in the creative writing program, so I am fulfilling that request. So if you're going to be an English major at CSULB, you have to choose a concentration within the major. So your choices are literature, creative writing, comp and rhetoric, or English education. And then I believe that if you're English education, you have to choose yet another concentration within that. I'm pretty sure you have to choose like whether you're literature or creative writing or comp and rhetoric within education, something weird like that. I really did consider either switching my major to English education with an emphasis in creative writing or trying to double major at one point, but I didn't. Guys, you have no idea how many times I've considered switching my major. I actually did technically switch my major because I applied as linguistics and I changed my major at SOAR to creative writing. SOAR is like your orientation. But I never changed my major in the respect that I actually like wasted units on classes for another major, which I'm really grateful for because like I'm definitely set in this major now and I know it's what I want to do. So I'll just try to tell you a little bit about the different concentrations. Obviously I know the most about creative writing, but for literature, pretty self-explanatory. You're going to be taking like a ton of literature classes. I'm not sure if you actually get to choose to specialize in a certain kind of literature, but you can definitely choose, like you have like lists of classes that you get to choose from, so you can choose like if you want to do more like American or British literature, like you definitely get that choice. Composition and rhetoric is basically, as far as I know, like expository reading and writing. So like English 100 on steroids for your whole major. Like English 100 is looking at expository essays, not literature. It's like nonfiction stuff, and then writing like your own essays, like coming into the conversation and bringing them together. And so like it's based on that, and it's like a lot of expository essays. Everybody has to take English 100, and like most English majors have to take like some of the same lower division classes and some lit classes, but then everything else like kind of branches out from there. Also, everyone has to take 380, which is that super stressful class that I took last semester. No matter what your concentration is, you have to take that class. I'll just read the description. The rhetoric and composition option is designed for students who desire to write for multiple readers and to analyze and interpret text. This option prepares students for teaching on virtually all levels, for graduate study in English, and for professions that require intensive writing and communication skills. But just keep in mind that I'm pretty sure it's nonfiction. Like it's not literature, it's like other. So that is that. And then education, you'll be taking like English literature classes as well as like actual like teaching classes, like teaching you how to teach. That's definitely the concentration I would do if I wasn't creative writing, because it sounds fun. Those are the concentrations. So now for creative writing, I don't know like how specific y'all want me to be about this, but I had to take English 180, which is like your lower division lit class. I'm pretty sure if you took AP English in high school, you don't have to take it. And then you have to take 250A and 250B, which are like British literature all the way from the medieval period to like the 1900s. And I actually enjoyed those classes. Like it's definitely a ton of reading, but if you can get Mitchell Smith for 250A, he was amazing. Definitely recommend him. And then you have to choose to take a creative writing class. So kind of like in literature, you can choose like what you want to focus on. You can choose if you want to do nonfiction, poetry, short story, or novel as like kind of your focus. For lower division, they don't have a novel class though, so you have to choose to take lower division nonfiction, lower division short story, or lower division poetry. So I chose short story. Absolutely love my class. The way the creative writing classes are structured is workshops. So like the first day is syllabus day, and then you might have like a couple like writing exercises or readings and responses, and then you start having your stories due. So like depending on the professor, they'll either make the stories like due all at once and then have people do them every week, or it'll be due on your day to read, which makes more sense to me. You'll sign up for a day and you'll read on that day, and usually you get like half of the class. You do like 2 stories at once in one period, so you'll read your story out loud and everyone else will have a copy, so you have to like print it out at the library, and then everyone will go around and give you feedback. So I have definitely found, so I've done the lower division and upper division short story. I found it to be so helpful in like learning how to take criticism and learning how to make my writing better. I just wish that the teachers would have more instructional time, because you definitely like get to hear what the professor's saying about like everybody's stories, which is helpful, but I just want more of that. Like I want them to actually sit down and be like, this is how you should open your story. This is how you pick a setting. This is how you can improve your dialogue. Like I want like at least 2 class periods that are just devoted to that, but whatever. And then for your upper division classes, you have to take 2 out of the 3 upper division, or 4, you have 4 choices because it's upper division poetry, short story, novel, and nonfiction. You have to take 2 of those, I think, or maybe it's 3. I know this, guys. I know this. You have to take 3 of those. You have to take 380. You have to take 3 upper division lit classes, and you have to take 3 electives. So, yeah. 380 is a nightmare. I'm sorry in advance for all the English majors that have to take it. But honestly, every teacher structures it differently, so like you don't know what you're gonna get. My roommate had a class that was like completely electronic, and they did a podcast and a video. Ours was all literature essays. Like it really depends on who your professor is, so like it depends on what you want out of the class. Like don't get me wrong, I learned so much from my class. I definitely feel prepared to go into the rest of my upper division classes now, but it was like unnecessarily stressful. And I've done 1 upper division lit class. I did American, 20th century American lit, and next semester I'm doing drama. And so those classes, it's basically like you do reading, you go to class and talk about it, and then you write research papers. And if you don't know how to do literary research, you will learn in 380. Usually the lower division classes don't make you do it, but for 250B I actually did have to. So basically, instead of writing an essay that is like just analyzing the text, you have to bring in essays from critics who have written about it and incorporate it into your argument. And it also, like a 380 was like all about that. Like the entire class was based on that basically. And oh, the other thing, 380 is critical theory. No matter what class you take, you're gonna learn about critical theory, which is not fun, but just to let you know about that. All right, I have a nice latte now. So 380 to, let's just talk about 380. So basically, no matter what class you have, it's gonna have a critical theory component. So it's like learning about all the different theorists and what they had to say about how you should analyze literature and the different standpoints they took, kind of. And not, this is a bad way of explaining it. It's like feminist theory and Marxist theory. So it's not even necessarily how they said you should analyze literature, but it's like what people said about, like, ugh. I promise, I took this class, y'all. So like, people took Marxism and applied it to literature. People took feminism and applied it to literature. That's what it is. You're learning about that. And then you're learning how to do research, basically. And they'll teach you like how to use it. If it scares you, it should, because it sucks. But I promise it'll be okay. No matter what major you are, you're gonna have to do research of some kind at some point. Like that's just a part of college. You're gonna have to go to the library, check out books. You're gonna have to use the library databases and all that fun stuff. But basically the point is that like you're not just analyzing the text in a vacuum anymore. You're joining a larger conversation of critics. And it sounds dreamy and fun, but it's actually terrible, and you wonder what the heck the point of it is the whole time, because there really is no point, and it's just a bunch of BS. But anyway, that's my opinion. If you actually want to go into being a critic, then that's great, and I hope you have a nice life. As you can tell, I really hate research. You heard me rant about it last semester, but this has been a huge tangent. So next semester I'm doing the novel class. I'm gonna do the novel class 2 times. You can take the upper division creative writing classes 2 times each for credit. I'm not sure how that one's gonna work. I've talked to some people who have taken it, and I think it's like you bring in the first like 20 pages of your book, something like that, and get it critiqued, and then you bring in like the next 20 pages when it's your turn again. And again, like every professor structures their class differently, so yeah, that's that. So if I could improve our program, there are 2 major improvements I would make, and one of them is that I would have less lit classes and more creative writing classes. Like, I know that it's an English major with a concentration in creative writing, but like the fact that you can graduate from CSULB with a creative writing concentration having taken 4 creative writing classes is kind of weird to me. Like, it should be more. Like, why do I need to learn about medieval literature? Like, how is that helping me write books that are gonna be marketable today? Like, I see it. I see how analyzing literature is important to your own writing. I do understand, but it's like the ratio is just off. Like there needs to be more creative writing classes that are actually honing your skills. And then the other thing is that I would add more modern lit classes, because again, it's like that's so like not relevant to take classes that are like from literature that was popular so long ago. Like I want to read and analyze books that are popular now and see why they're popular, you know? So that's how I would change our program. But overall, I've been like pretty happy with the experience I've had. So yeah, if you have any questions, I would be more than happy to answer them about any of the classes I talked about, or like research or creative writing or anything. Please don't hesitate to ask. I would love to hear from you, and yeah, that's gonna be it for this video, so please give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it and found it helpful. Please subscribe down below, and yeah, I hope you have a nice day. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!